Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Ball Stadium here in Exeter. I'm Harry Kozlowski, along with Kevin Gibbs, who normally is the head coach of the girls basketball team, but he's going to press in service here as the color commentator on this lacrosse game. Kevin, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much, Harry. It's great to be here. I was going to be at the game anyway, so this way I get to see it from the crow's nest here.
We're a couple moments away from the start of the game, and as we were speaking about just a moment ago, they have released the all-state teams for girls lacrosse, and as you would expect, these two championship teams, seeded 1 and 2, they put the most players out on this team. Bedford with 5 players on the first team. Reagan O'Brien, the attack. Also Olivia Matthews Jr., she's a midfielder. Sydney Grogan, a name you're familiar with, Coach. Also a senior midfielder for Bedford. Eliana Enners, a midfielder, and Sabrina Tipping, a senior defensive player, all on the All-State team.
In actuality, you probably could have had a few more people named to All-State as well. To have 5 on the first team is quite an honor and a testament to just how strong this Bedford lacrosse team is.
And on the Portsmouth side, they have 5 on the first team. Attack Charlotte Marston, midfielder Avery Runke, a senior, midfield Annie Parker, defense Maggie Parker, and defense Annie Campbell. And on the second team, Morgan Runke, the sophomore midfielder, has made the second squad as well. These teams did meet in the regular season back on May 3rd. It was a 14-10 victory for the Bulldogs. So in their one contest, they did meet, but a lot can change once you hit the playoffs.
That was quite an exciting game. Portsmouth was actually up 5-4 at the half, and Bedford came back with a really, really strong third quarter. And as expected, it was tight most of the way, and that's exactly what we'll expect to see here tonight.
Teams are getting their sticks inspected, as is usual custom here in girls lacrosse. Make sure that the webbing is set the standard. And as soon as they're done here, the announcers will be giving us the starting lineups, and we will be bringing them to you as well as soon as we get them.
This is a matchup of two really strong programs. Portsmouth has essentially won 5 D2 titles in a row. That doesn't include the COVID year. Then moved up to D1 this year and really they haven't missed a beat.
And here's the PA announcer to tell us about the starting lineups.
And now let's get down to business. Let's meet the starting lineups. First off, for the Portsmouth Clippers, at attack, number 11, Lily Patterson. At attack, number 21, Charlotte Marston. At midfield, number 5, Sally Collins. At midfield, number 24, Sadie Alati. At midfield, number 13, Avery Runke. At midfield, number 17, Morgan Runke. Midfield, number 10, Annie Parker. Midfield, number 4, Junior Yutabera. At defense, number 3, Maggie Parker. On defense, number 9, Annie Campbell. On defense, number 22, Emily Pump. And in goal, number 25, Sam Bouzier. The Clippers head coach is Joe Curro. And now the starting lineup for the Bulldogs. At attack, number 22, Natalie Dunn. At attack, number 29, Reagan O'Brien. At attack, number 20, Vivian Robinson. At midfield, number 1, Sydney Grogan. At midfield, number 2, Olivia Matthews. At midfield, number 3, Patty Keeling. At midfield, number 26, Ellie Enners. On defense, number 5, Sabrina Tipping. On defense, number 10, Lily Norris. On defense, number 4, Audrey Burnell. On defense, number 12, Kira Abdel Sayed. And in goal, number 19, Abigail Weiner. The Bulldogs head coach is Christine Hodgson. The officials for tonight's contest, Lady Luncheon, Nathan Veronice, Brad Ayers, and Kristen Kochanek. And now please stand at this time, if able, for the performance of the national anthem.
And the national anthem. As all the fans are on their feet here in the stadium, good turnout for both Portsmouth and Bedford parents and fans of both schools. Exeter, good location, certainly centrally located between the two schools, so easy for both fans to get here and enjoy this contest.
Certainly beautiful facilities. The smart ones are here with their winter coats and hats. It's a little chilly and the wind's blowing. Hard to believe it's June 6th, but I suppose this is much better than playing in 90-degree heat.
Yeah, well, you kind of come to expect a little bit of a June swoon. We've had one last couple of years, a great May and then a little dip in June. But yeah, when the sun goes down, it was a nice day today with the sun, but as soon as the sun goes down, it will start getting chilly. Of course, the players are going to be working up a sweat. It's not going to bother them at all.
I always marvel at the early season games when it's about 42 degrees and raining or whatever, and they're still out there in their regular uniforms, and obviously they're working up quite a sweat. But I have to tell you, better them than us.
Portsmouth got here defeating number 7 seed Souhegan 19-4, and then in the semifinals they defeated Bishop Girton 14-12. Bedford, of course, beat Merrimack 22-4 and then shut out the National South Purple Panthers 13-0. Those semifinal games were played here in Exeter. So Bedford has really been a juggernaut in this tournament, but they have not played a team at the level of Portsmouth. So we're going to see a great contest here tonight. Getting ready for the draw at midfield. Looks like Olivia Matthews will be taking the draw. And for Portsmouth, it's going to be Annie Parker. So the official now tees up the ball for the draw. They always take so much time to do this.
It's got to be just right.
Yeah, make sure it's a fair draw here. Whistle is blown. Ball's in the air, and they're going to call a procedure on Portsmouth. Bedford will get the ball. Or correction, it's going to be Portsmouth ball. Portsmouth is going from left to right here tonight.
Little change of sticks there on the part of the Portsmouth players.
Maggie Parker is cruising through the mid-zone, now into the offensive end. Vinci Guerra behind the net. And she gets the ball back. Morgan Runke.
Looks like they're testing out the Bedford defense at the moment.
Collins with it now. Being defended. Parker. Just taking their time here, looking for an opening. They're kind of working outside the 12-meter perimeter. Here's Parker trying to make a move toward the net. Matthew stands her up, and the shot on goal is wide, but it's backed up by the Clippers, so they'll retain possession. Here's Vince Guerrera.
Bedford did a nice job keeping them on the perimeter that time, really not letting them get through the middle and making any passes into the middle.
Morgan Runke over to Avery Runke, number 13. Now Susie Collins, double teamed, finds a gap, now loses the ball as she ran into a third Bedford defender, and coming out of the net, number 19, Abigail Widener, had the ball momentarily but turned it over. Portsmouth gets it back. Here's Marston to Vin Guerrera. Now they get it back in front with Morgan Runke. Stick check, loses the ball, it's on the ground. And they're going to call a stick foul on Bedford, so Portsmouth will maintain possession.
That foul was on Ellie Enners, getting just a little bit too aggressive, trying to get to the ball to the breakaway.
So Avery Runke now challenging Grogan on the defense, trying to find a lane, takes a shot and scores, bounces it right at the feet of Widener. So at the 22:40 mark of the first half, Portsmouth gets on the board first.
Number 13, Avery Runke.
So Avery Runke with the goal. And no assist awarded on that play. She more or less did all the work herself. So Portsmouth now up. And they did it without Bedford even coming in contact with the ball. They maintained possession from the very start.
No, the entire beginning part of the action has been in the Portsmouth offensive end, and obviously Bedford works best when they are on the attack. So let's see if we can do this after this draw. There we go. Bedford gets the draw.
Matthews able to pick it up on the fly, and they carry it into the Portsmouth end. She gets around the midi and now pulls up and waits for her offense to join her. Grogan. Over to O'Brien. Teammates on the All-State team. Behind the net, it's Denon. Now back out to the perimeter, Matthews. Grogan with it. 26 enters, one-on-one. Now draws a double team. Pass inside, they're going to call what here? It looks like a foul on a Portsmouth player. They're going to give a free start to Reagan O'Brien.
Right at the 8-meter.
Here's an opportunity to tie the game.
And a score.
Score, almost identical kind of shot. Bounced at the feet of the keeper.
It was Reagan O'Brien. Ellie Enders with that score.
So that coming at the 21:43 mark. That ties up.
Reagan O'Brien.
Nope, it was Reagan O'Brien.
Reagan O'Brien with the goal for Bedford. It ties it up here.
And it was unassisted. At this point, both teams get the jitters out. They get themselves on the board. I have the feeling this is going to be a battle of who defends better.
On the draw, high enough, but still on the ground. Here's a race to it, and looks like Portsmouth gets to it first. Avery Runke chases the ball down, gets it to Parker. Now Morgan Runke bringing it into the offensive zone. Down low to Vincent Guerrero. Back up to Parker. Portsmouth just working the perimeter here. Now behind the net. Vinci Guerra. She's got it. Tries to come up to goal line extended. Here's a wraparound attempt.
Nice save.
Charlotte Marston tried to do that, but Widener ready for it. Makes the stop. And Bedford with the ball. Sabrina Tipping passes across to Kira Abdel Saeed. And now Bedford is in the Portsmouth zone. 20:45 left here in the first half. We're tied at 1. Here's Grogan. Gets it back now from Purnell. She gives it off to Matthews. And O'Brien, the goal scorer. Back to Enders, number 26. Cutting to the 8-meter circle. Over to O'Brien. To Matthews, and we've got another foul call here, so this is going to be another free start. And it's going to come to number 2, Olivia Matthews. We'll see if she takes a shot here or passes it up. She's coming in at a pretty sharp angle here. She is going to take the shot and scores. Beats Sage Boussier down low, the Portsmouth keeper, and Bedford is up 2-1.
Olivia Matthews.
So Olivia Matthews scores off the penalty at 19:58, and Bedford is up 2-1.
It was a pretty shot. It was a tough angle, but you could tell she had shot on the mind right from the get-go and was able to convert.
And once again, they shot that low. It bounces in front of the keeper. And it looked like it went through the 5-hole again. So they're seeing something there.
Well, we haven't talked about this, but while they've certainly had a very successful season, the keeper for Portsmouth is a freshman. This is her first experience on this big stage, and maybe that will have an effect on things as the evening wears on.
So Annie Parker here against Olivia Matthews on the draw. 19:58 remaining in the first half here. Ball is set, whistle blown. Ball is in the air. It's picked up by Bedford. Matthews gets it on a bounce, now brings it into the Portsmouth end. She's got a triple team converging on her. She's got to escape it, and she does. And she ends up drawing a foul, a stick foul. Might have been on Morgan Ronke. So Matthews will get a free start here. About 25 yards from the net. And there we go. Enters. Across to O'Brien. Matthews. Now Grogan along the perimeter.
Bulldogs are definitely playing with a little more energy, a little more confidence with those 2 goals under the belt.
Reagan O'Brien tries to take a sidestep around a defense, and the shot goes wide of the net. Bedford backs it up, though. They retain possession. Kylie gets it up to Matthews. Matthews one-on-one, trying to wheel around down the center. Now pass inside to Grogan and scores! A beautiful pass there by Reagan O'Brien, finding Grogan in the slot right in front of the crease, and she was able to put the shot high.
It was actually from Matthews.
From Matthews,
it was
sorry.
From Matthews, yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty shot. It was a nice cut on Grogan's part. Something I've had the honor of watching over the last 4 years on the basketball court as well, and it was a great pass and a score.
So at 19:08, Bedford now up 3-1 after Portsmouth opened the scoring. On the draw, ball is on the ground. Looks like Bedford will get possession. Yep. Yes, they do. Matthews able to chase the loose ball down, trying to escape the Portsmouth defense, and she does. And now Portsmouth drops back into their defensive shell. O'Brien. Kylie along goal line extended, back up to O'Brien. Now here's Matthews. Grogan. She sends it across to Purnell and gets it right back from her. Matthews and O'Brien. Now O'Brien coming in at a bit of an angle, pauses, now moves in, finds, tried to get the pass over to Grogan. The ball bounces. Enters had picked up the loose ball, tried to get a shot away, and it looks like she was fouled and is going to get a free start from the 8-meter line. So another big opportunity here for the Bulldogs to add to this lead.
No, she took a hit to the face.
And that's usually a fairly uncontested. She's going to have a lot of room here, so she'll be coming in all alone on Boussier. Enters rubbing her forehead. I guess that's where she got hit.
Are you going to put it on the board?
We'll see what the official...
Are you going to put it on the board, too? Yeah, 2. Yeah.
We're going to get a 2-minute penalty.
Apparently, yeah.
Portsmouth, that was the official, one of the officials. So Portsmouth is going to not only giving up a free start here, but they're going to be playing down a person.
Oh, it's a pretty hard hit to the head.
There's a shot and a score. Enters had to take a little bit of a cut, but she gets the shot. She beats Boussier to make it 4-1 Bedford with 18:13 left in the first.
Bedford's made Portsmouth pay twice now on penalties inside the arc. Bedford's been able to convert twice. First, Olivia Matthews, and about a minute, almost 2 minutes later, Ellie Enters. At this point, and it's going to be a long game, but Bedford all of a sudden seems to be very much in control, playing confidently, and Portsmouth's kind of back on their heels.
Well, that's probably why Portsmouth decided to call the timeout here to reorganize. They've got a minute and 57 left in the penalty, the blow to the head that Enters received that resulted in the free start. So while we've got a pause in the action, let me remind you that BCTV's live channels are on demand, and channels and on-demand content are now easier to access than ever before thanks to the Bedford Community Television app. It's available free on Apple iOS and Android Play Store. Just download it onto your phone, the Bedford Community Television app from your app store, and enjoy BCTV programming live or on demand anytime, anywhere. You've got a phone and a signal.
Of course, this game will be broadcast on delay on TV.
That's
because per NHIAA rules, I believe it's NFHS has the rights to broadcast live, but
we should mention that, right? The NFHS is streaming this game live. It is pay-per-view.
Yep.
But if you want to watch the game live, you could do that. It'll be different announcers. We are voicing the TV feed on BCTV that will be played on a delay, but we are also live on Bedford 105.1 radio right now.
Exactly. So the people that aren't able to be here, they should be able to listen. In a couple of days, they'll be able to watch. There's a great crowd here. Both programs are very well represented, and as usual, the student body is right up on the railing, getting as close to the action as they can to support their teams.
Timeout is over, and they're meeting at the Big E for the draw. Bedford with the 4-1 lead with 18:13 to go here in the first half. Bedford responding after Portsmouth got on the board with 4 straight. Ball in the air, now rolling into the Portsmouth end, and it's picked up on the run by O'Brien, so Bedford maintains possession here. Very important possession in the lacrosse game.
I believe other than the opening draw, Bedford has won every draw since then, and that's key. Possession is key.
And really, every team just about has scored on their possession except for one. The second Portsmouth possession did not result in a goal. That was a save by Widener.
On an exciting play where she was drawn out of the net, well behind the net.
Inside, there's a shot and another goal. The pass over to Audrey Purnell pays off. Similar to the Grogan feed. So Purnell with the goal.
I'm not sure if they'll give the assist to Matthews or not, but
she earned one.
She definitely earned it on that.
So 5 straight goals here for the Bulldogs. They're up 5-1 with 17:34 to play. The officials are setting up the draw. Still setting it up. You know, they balance the ball on the 2 sticks of the players. Make sure that it's an even draw. And the ball's in the air, and they're going to call a foul on Bedford. The procedure call gives possession over to Portsmouth. So Parker passes it over to Conlon. Vinci Guerrera gives it to Marston.
Overthrown.
And looks like it's up. They're going to get it before it goes out of bounds, so no loss of possession there for Portsmouth. That's Avery Runke.
Bedford's really pushing them outside the circle now.
Yeah, their defense is coming out to meet them in the perimeter. Sally Collins with the ball.
Nice switch defensively. Matthews right up on the ball still.
Yeah, but Collins is kind of getting herself boxed in here. She turns the ball over, and they're going to call a foul on Portsmouth that gives Bedford the ball. 16:27 to play here. Portsmouth stymied on that possession. And now Bedford on the attack. The pass up to Maddie Kiley. She drops it back to Matthews.
And the penalty is done.
So Portsmouth is back to full strength.
Maggie Parker is running in to rejoin the action.
So if there was a plus side to that penalty, Portsmouth did maintain possession throughout most of it.
They truly did.
So they didn't have to worry about Bedford. But now Bedford in possession of the ball. 15:55 left. and sitting in a commanding 5-1 lead, but it's still early. A lot can change. O'Brien has the ball checked off her stick by Andy Parker. She's able to get it back. Sends it behind the net now to Kylie. Here's Denon. Over to Purnell, takes a shot, save by Boussier.
That was a nice save by Boussier. Again, they were looking to shoot the ball low, and that time she got her stick down. Was able to keep it from going through the hockey 5-hole.
So Portsmouth able to stop Bedford on that possession. And Maggie Parker draws a foul as she's trying to leave her own zone. So she'll get a free start, and she decides to send it back to Addie Delisle. Her pass up the field to Sophie Burling, to Emily Kumpf. And now behind the net to Marston. Vinci Guerra had it momentarily. Now this is Avery Runke trying to get in tight. Widener had the save, but it rolled off her stick and into the net. So that's going to be a goal for Portsmouth. They finally break the goal run for Portsmouth at 14:36, and Avery Runke is going to get herself a goal.
That's her second goal of the game. She has both of Portsmouth goals at this point. Both are unassisted.
So I'm sure Widener wished she'd had that back. That's a little reminiscent of the boys' game. The overtime winner hit the stick of Bedford keeper Kahn and rolled into the net too. So, getting it on your stick's only half the job. You got to get it, keep it in the netting.
There are also a lot of shots in that game that hit the pipes. It's a game of inches. Most definitely a game of inches.
So the draw at midfield. Matthews against Annie Parker. And they're going to call a procedure call and give the ball to Portsmouth.
So both draws so far where a penalty was called, Portsmouth has scored. Let's see if Bedford can hold on this one.
Collins gets the pass in. She dishes it out. Vinci Guerra in the end zone. Now she gets it up to Morgan Runke. Annie Parker going one-on-one here against Matthews. Takes a shot high and scores. Annie Parker at 14:02 mark of the first half, and it's now 5-3 Bedford.
So again, that's 3 times off the draw that Portsmouth was able to gain possession because of a penalty, and all 3 times they've scored.
Possession's so important here on these face-offs.
Draws. That's something I learned listening to Corey.
That's right. Girls' game is to draw. Now we've got a different person taking the draw. It's now Natalie Denon for Bedford. Parker's still there for Portsmouth. And they're going to call another procedure, but this time it's going to go to Bedford. So Denon picks up the ball, gets it up to O'Brien. O'Brien takes a hit. She gets a free start. Quickly starts with the ball. Gets it to Matthews. She dropped it momentarily, gets it back. Now enters. Trying to pierce that Portsmouth defense. She pulls back. Matthews over to O'Brien. O'Brien has to peel back a little bit. Tries to get it inside to enters. Oh, and a shot. Tried to get the shot. Shot it wide of the net, and it was taken away by a Portsmouth player, but what are they calling it here? Are they going to say it?
I believe they're calling it Bedford ball.
So I'm not sure what happened here.
Bedford possession here.
They're going to take the ball away from the Portsmouth player who had it and give it to number 4, Audrey Purnell, and Bedford restarts their possession. Brogan to Enders. Matthews now to O'Brien on the perimeter here. O'Brien decides to test the defense, takes a shot high and scores!
It's a nice shot off of a screen from Brogan.
So O'Brien
Bulldog goal number 29,
beating
Reagan O'Brien.
Boussier high over the shoulder, makes it 6-3. So good answer there from the Bulldogs.
They're not letting those 2 quick goals by Portsmouth deter their aggressiveness on the offensive end.
Kind of a breezy day. You probably can hear it on the mics. The flags are out full. We do have a crowd mic, and we also have a field mic. Trying to pick up some of the sound from field level, including the officials' calls. So Enner's taking this draw, and she wins it. Bedford with possession. Enners backs up, now gets the ball over to Kylie on a long pass. Good catch there by Kylie. Behind the net, it goes to Denon. Denon behind X. Tries to come back around, instead leaves it there for Purnell. Now she finds Enners. Grogan way out on top. One-on-one on the Portsmouth defender. Grogan kicks it over to O'Brien. It takes a shot down low, and we get a whistle here. And it's going to be a free start here for O'Brien at about a 45-degree angle to the net here. So we'll see if she decides to pass it out or take the shot. O'Brien goes and shoots, and the stop is made by Boussier. Ball goes behind the net. Bedford's able to pick up the possession here. So they maintain control. Grogan. Matthews goes one-on-one. Still has it. Takes a high shot and scores. Actually, the shot kind of went under the arm.
That was a nice shot. She actually crossed the goal mouth from right to left and shot the ball back over her shoulder. Not really over her shoulder, but across her body. And made a really nice shot up high over the late to get there arm and stick of Boussier.
So at the 11:47 mark of the first, Bedford answers Portsmouth's 2-goal burst with 2 of their own. It's 7-3. So Bedford maintaining their lead here, and they're going to stick with Enners on the draw against Parker. Annie Parker has been doing all the draws here for the Clippers. Ball's in the air, picked up cleanly by Matthews and carries it into the Portsmouth end, avoiding the stick of number 18, Lexi Stanley. Kylie gets it to Grogan. Grogan able to make the catch. Enners now, about 25 yards from the goal. Gets it back to Matthews while Bedford resets their offense here. Grogan to Enners. Purnell. Bedford just working the perimeter here. Meanwhile, the Clippers have their zone defense set up right between the 2 circles. Now Enners decides to challenge it, pulls back, takes the shot, gets the shot over to O'Brien. It's wide, but backed up by the Bulldogs. They maintain possession. Here's Natalie Denon. Comes up from behind, goal line extended, drops it back to Kylie, who's behind X. Now back in front of the net to Enners. Enners is one-on-one. Fakes, now pulls away.
Multiple defenders.
And she got the ball over to Matthews, I think it is, and drew a foul. Matthews is trying to get a shot away, but took a stick, and they're going to give her a free start at about a 30-degree angle to the net here, but she's got some room to work with. Here she comes. Had a fight off a defender, fires a shot that goes high and wide. They're going to say Bedford backed it up. So the Bulldogs will maintain possession here.
13!
Bedford behind the net, Kylie.
13!
Still with the ball. Gets it up to Matthews. Now O'Brien O'Brien. Pierce at the defense, fires the shot low. This time, Boussier was ready for that 5-hole shot.
That was a nice save. She went right up the middle. And what do we got here? A little bit of an equipment issue with Sydney Grogan.
So the Bulldogs stymied on that possession, but they still maintain the 4-goal lead. It's 7-3, 9:26 left here in the first half of this NHIAA Division I Girls Lacrosse Championship. A little pause in the action here. Let's see what the officials, see if they say anything to the officials. We're not picking it up on the mic. So we haven't heard anything from the official. But Portsmouth has the ball off a save from Boussier. And she's going to chip the ball out to Sally Collins. She's got a triple team. She's got a break, and she does. Actually, correction, it's number 9, Annie Campbell. Into the offensive zone. Gets it to her teammate. And they're going to say she stepped on the out-of-bounds line. So turnover on Portsmouth. She was a little close to that line when she caught that pass.
Something you don't normally see is the ball coming in from outside the lines.
Long pass to Vivian Robinson. Now she gets it up to Libby Norris for Bedford. Norris has to back up from the double team. Pass over to Sabrina Tipping. Go ahead.
Portsmouth is sending 2 and sometimes 3 defenders at the ball right now.
Matthews, she gets inside the 8-meter arc, goes down, and I think they're going to give her a free start here at the 8-meter line. And this one's going to come pretty much straight on net here. Almost straight in. So Matthews with a free start off a foul. High shot. Over the shoulder, Boussier, goal. It's in. Makes it 8-3.
Olivia Matthews.
Olivia Matthews scoring again, and she's got at least 2 goals, right?
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 3 goals and unofficially 2 assists, it looks like.
So Matthews having a terrific game today.
13er King.
We'll return to the center circle for the draw.
You've got to wonder if Portsmouth is maybe a little emotionally fatigued after that tough semifinal matchup against Bishop Curtin. Although BG was the 6th seed, they are the reigning champions, and they're always a tough out. Whereas Bedford did have a couple of easy games coming in and seemed to be very energized.
Parker wins the face-off, got the ball on the fly in the center dot, and now sends it over to Morgan Runke, and they get into the Bedford zone. Vinci Guerra emerges from behind, goal line extended, kicks it out to Morgan Runke. She takes a hit from the double team, and they're going to award a foul here. It looks like they had the yellow flag out. I wonder if this is going to be a
penalty,
a player down situation. They're going to give Morgan Runke the free start at the 8-meter line. So here we go. Morgan Runke comes in, takes a shot, beats Widener. She scores. 8-4 now at 7:31 left in the first. So Runke awarded the free start on the foul, able to cash it in for a goal here and draw the Clippers within 4.
Joins her sister in the scoring column. Avery had 2. That's Morgan's first. Seems to be some discussion going on again with the officials.
Yeah, they're explaining something, I assume, to the 2 captains, Avery Runke, and I'm not seeing the number for the Bedford player. Oh, number 29.
It was Regan O'Brien.
Regan O'Brien. So they're going to do the draw here, and it looks like a change again for Bedford. It's going to be Olivia Matthews taking this draw. I think Portsmouth made a change as well. I can't see the number of that player. I'll let you know as soon as the draw is made. Ball is in the air. Actually, no, that was Parker. It rolls into the Portsmouth end. Whistle blows. What are they going to call it here? Is that an interference call of some kind?
I believe so. They're giving possession to Portsmouth. No.
No, yes, they are.
White ball.
White ball.
No, they're not.
White ball.
Okay, so it's going to go to Bedford. Wasn't sure there. In fact, the players weren't even a little sure.
Yeah, wish I knew the official calls a little bit better, but with
the
both
cross at the wrist.
Well, that, but also both fists extended, making me wonder if it was like a double foul.
So Bedford with the ball here with 7:14 remaining in the first half. Still working that perimeter. Matthews from O'Brien over to Enners. And now Grogan. Purnell had it. Goes back to Enners. Matthews with it. You can hear the instructions being shouted out. Enners tries to penetrate the defense, can't do it, drops it back to Matthews. Matthews a double team, she's got to escape from that. Finally finds Grogan. Grogan with a little bit of room here. Now she draws the attention of the defenders. Now she peels back. Behind goal line extended is Regan O'Brien. One-on-one with a defender. Takes a shot, hits the side of the net, and picked up by Parker. And here comes Portsmouth the other way. O'Brien trying to take a sharp angle shot that hit the side of the net. It might hit the post. So here comes Portsmouth. Marston, or really Sadie Alati. Now she gives the ball up to Delisle. Pass up to Kumpf. Emily Kumpf. Morgan Runke to Vincie Guerra. Behind goal line extended. Now they come back out front. Here's Sally Collins. Annie Parker, who's been leading this Portsmouth attack and taking their face-offs. She gets it to Morgan Runke. Morgan Runke tries to penetrate. She takes a hit here. We're going to see what the call is. They're going to give her a free start. It was the Bedford player that hit the turf. Yes, they are. They're going to give Morgan Runke, a free start right in front of Widener. Waiting for the whistle. Here comes Runke, shot and scores.
Again, nice shot.
At the 5-minute mark, Morgan Runke makes it an 8-5 contest.
Again, off of a penalty shot. Free shots are really the basis of the scoring for Portsmouth at this point. 4 of their 5 goals, I believe, have been on free shots in front of the net.
Yeah, those penalties, they can really add up. They can keep a team in the game, even if you're getting outplayed in the field. If you manage to get enough penalties, you can cash those in and stay within, shouting distance. As Portsmouth is now 8-5, Bedford is up. Off the draw, the loose ball goes to Regan O'Brien. They will say it'll stay with Regan O'Brien and the Bedford Bulldogs. They start Enners, Purnell, back to Enners. Matthews and Enners. Portsmouth stays in their zone defense. Bedford working the perimeter where they've got some room. They can move the ball around without being harassed too badly. Like you mentioned earlier, Portsmouth did come out and try to challenge Portsmouth.
Well, it's interesting. Both teams at times will come out aggressively, and then at other times they're kind of hanging back and protecting the middle.
Now there's a turnover pass from behind the net, missed everybody, but Purnell was able to chase it down. Now back down low to Kylie. So Bedford averts a turnover, and they managed to maintain possession here. Reagan O'Brien goes behind X. Changes direction, tries to come out the other side, draws a triple team, looking for an outlet. They're trying to escape. She can't quite do it. Now she gets it out to Kylie. Now gets it back from Kylie. O'Brien sends it to Matthews up front. So Bedford trying to penetrate that Portsmouth defense, not having any luck here. Things get a lot tighter as you get closer to the goal crease. Matthews, one-on-one with Parker, pulls back to Grogan. Now to O'Brien. Grogan sets up a pick for O'Brien. Now gets it to Enners. Back to O'Brien. Now Grogan. Bedford taking their time here, being patient. Matthews with the pick. Now a great stick check there by Parker, but they're going to say that it hit Grogan on the hand. They're going to award her a free start. And Parker jumped up in frustration on that.
That's the second time that a call's been made that the Portsmouth players haven't been happy with it. So tough angle for Grogan here.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. She's coming in at about it. She decides to pass it off behind the net to Kylie. Comes out in front, takes a low shot, saved by Boussier, but the rebound goes to Grogan, so Bedford maintains possession here. Good stop there by the Portsmouth keeper. O'Brien changes direction, has a double team to get away from. Purnell, she takes a blow to the face, and will there be a call? I didn't see an official.
Well, there was a whistle.
There was a whistle, okay. The official closest to us didn't make a move, but the one toward the net did. So that's going to be a free start here for Audrey Purnell, number 4.
Oh yeah, you can see on the replay, at least we can see on the replay, that her head really snapped back.
So Purnell takes a shot and scores. Really a lot of stick work to get in tight there. Almost like a hockey player on a breakaway, just kind of moving that stick around, trying to fake the goaltender out and beats him high. The
footwork on the part of both teams in the crease has been very impressive. Very, very impressive.
So Purnell with the goal here with 1:53 remaining in the first. Bedford back up to that 4-goal lead. It's 9-5.
Bedford's finding the scoring column, but Portsmouth is not making it easy for them. And they're hanging tight. It's only a 4-goal differential, which, as we know, can disappear very quickly.
So Matthews is on the draw against Parker. They're going to say it did not go high enough, so they'll redraw. So now we wait for the official to reset the draw. Ball finally teed up, and the draw puts the ball on the ground. Bedford wins it.
Possession.
That's Enners, surrounded by 4 Portsmouth players, and she takes a stick. What are they saying here? Yep, they're going to give her a free start. Yeah, Enners was surrounded. Even though she came up with the ball, she had she had no escape route. Fortunate the foul was called to give her some room here. Now O'Brien charges in, tries to pierce a defense. And what do we call here? A turnover on Bedford?
No, it looks like the lacrosse equivalent of an offensive foul.
So Bedford with a rare turnover here. Portsmouth gets the ball back. Sadie Alati runs into a couple of Bulldog players. They're going to say there was a inappropriate contact, so she'll maintain possession. Manages to pass it to Avery Runke into the Bedford zone now. 49 seconds to go in the first half. Bedford up 9-5. Vinci Guerra over to Morgan Runke. Way out on top. Waiting to set up this offense here for Portsmouth. She's only have 30 seconds to work with here. Morgan Runke fakes, runs into Grogan, and they're going to call an offensive here as well.
Shades of the basketball season. Sydney Grogan took more charges than anybody in the program over her 4 years. She just did the same thing there. Took that offensive player out, gains possession.
Yeah, Morgan Runke was determined to get to the net, even if she had to go through Sydney Grogan, but the official called her on that and gives the ball to Bedford. They have 17 seconds here. Ball's on the ground, and they're going to say turnover Bedford. Portsmouth gets it back. 9 seconds left. 8. We'll see if they have enough time to get a shot away.
5 seconds.
Parker gets around her defender, going in on goal. Takes a shot and scores. Just as the clock expired, we'll see what the official says. They're going to have a little conference here to see if that shot beat the clock. Oh, they're going to call a foul here.
I think they called a foul.
Okay, all right.
It was a foul before the shot was released.
So 2 seconds back on the clock, and Parker's got an opportunity here. Takes a shot. Goes over the net, no goal, and Bedford preserves the 4-goal lead at the half. So an exciting first half of action here as the Bulldogs, thanks to a 5-0 run that came early in this half, were able to get a big lead going, and they've maintained it all the way through.
Most definitely. Every time Portsmouth scored a goal or two, Bedford would counter. Be willing to bet that Portsmouth almost wishes that penalty wasn't called there at the end because she had scored.
Right.
And when she got the free, she shot the ball wide. But
yeah,
be that as it may, 9-5 at the half.
The officials did take a goal off the board there, or a potential goal off the board, although the question would have been whether or not the ball went in before the clock expired.
True.
Because
True.
when I looked up at the scoreboard, it was at 0.
Well, the benefit that they have over us is we're looking down on the field. The 3 of them all have the appropriate angles on the field, and that's another thing that is great in at least the semis and the finals. They have 3 officials on the field, just like in basketball, where once they get to the quarters, we have 3 officials instead of 2, and having that extra set of eyes out there is important in terms of making sure that they get all the calls right and that they see everything that's going on.
Well, we've got a few minutes here. It looks like 6 minutes before the start of the second half. We'll keep it here. Why don't you give us a recap of the scoring?
Well, there's an awful lot of scoring to recap.
14 goals, so go right ahead.
A ton.
We got time.
I don't know if the 6 minutes will be enough. Portsmouth got on the board first, a little over 2 minutes into the game with an unassisted goal by Avery Runke. Bedford then answered with a goal by Regan O'Brien at 21:43 and Olivia Matthews at 19:58, and then 50 seconds after that, Sydney Grogan scored as well. And actually, you were right, Harry. They went on a 5-goal run. Ellie Enners scored after a penalty, and Purnell scored on an assist from Matthews at 17:34 before Avery Runke was able to find the net again. And I think that spurt right there, where although they started the game down a goal, to put 5 on the board was definitely a momentum-changing turn of events, and it also was a confidence builder for Bedford, and I think a little bit of a little bit of a let the wind out of the sails type of thing for Portsmouth, because they came out and felt that they were in a good place, and then all of a sudden, before you got to the 17-minute mark, 8 minutes into the game, they're down 5-1. Again, Runke did answer, and right after that, Annie Parker answered with her own unassisted goal. A lot of the goals in this first half have been off of free shots in front of the goal. And again, there were additional goals by her sister, Morgan Runke, scored a couple, and Matthews had 2 more for Bedford. Purnell has had a couple of goals here. An awful lot of folks finding the net, and if you take a look at the number of different people that have scored for Bedford, that makes it hard for Portsmouth to key on any individuals. And in the case of Portsmouth right now, 4 of their 5 goals have been by 2 players, and because of that, I think Bedford's been able to pay attention to 2 people as opposed to a lot of people.
Well, thank you very much, Coach Kevin Gibbs, here on Color in this broadcast. Our crew here in Exeter, Bill Jennings on camera, we got Andrew Fenn taking care of sound and other devices, and back in the studio, it's Dale Bird with the replays. We're going to take a few minutes, go back to the station, play a few messages, and come back in about 3 minutes and 30 seconds for second half action. At the half, Bedford's leads 9-5 in this Division I Girls Lacrosse Championship. You're watching BCTV and listening to Bedford 105.1. And welcome back to Ball Stadium here in Exeter. Second half action about to begin here, with the Bulldogs leading 9-5. Another 25 minutes on the clock. Second half about to begin, and we'll see what Portsmouth can do in the second half. Bedford has been able to, like it's early in that first half, they went on a 5-0 run. They've maintained at least a 4-goal lead for most of this game. We'll see if they can keep that pace up, and we'll see what Portsmouth can do to stymie the Bulldogs.
Every time Portsmouth scored 1 or 2 goals, Bedford would counter. Adrenaline is always very, very large in terms of affecting things in the first half. Coming back in the second half, it's always interesting to see how teams come out to play, and we'll find out momentarily, because we're about to have the first draw of the second half.
And the team switched side. Bedford now defending the goal to our left, and it'll be shooting from left to right. Looks like a change in draw for Portsmouth. Number 25 is there. No, I don't think it's 25. 22, that's Emily Kumpf. And Portsmouth is able to maintain possession on the draw, but the ball's on the ground here. Race to it. Picked up in the nick of time by Charlotte Marston. Oh, it looks like a Bedford player took a blow to the head here.
She did. It was off the play, but there was a strong stick to the head.
I think that's Libby Norris, number 10.
Oh, no, it was a shoulder. And then she hit her head on the turf, it looks like.
And she's holding her face here, and the trainers are out here to take a look at her. So that's got to result in a foul on Portsmouth, I would think. We'll find out here. The officials are talking things over. They're still working on the player. Both teams are huddled up here. You know, the girls' game is definitely not as violent as the boys' game, but injuries still happen.
There's also, they're not wearing as much protection as the boys do either.
They're not wearing helmets, they just have a visor.
They have a visor, and you know, they don't have elbow pads on. They are, they're pretty much open to a lot of abuse if the stick's in there, or in that case, a hard shoulder coming in.
So that is Libby Norris. She's coming out of the game now. And they're gonna say that the contact is incidental and no fouls called. Portsmouth will retain possession as Annie Parker has the ball and now passes it over to Avery Runke. Portsmouth now behind net. Vinci Guerra had it. Now Morgan Runke.
You're alone! You're alone!
Parker with the ball at the top, taking her time, taking advantage of a screen, flips it to Marston. Marston loses the ball, and let's see, we get a call here. Yes. Possession will stay with Portsmouth. Shot. Ball goes behind the net, backed up by the Clippers. They stay in control of the ball.
It looks like Kira Abdel-Sayed, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, came in for Libby Norris due to the injury.
Nearly an interception there by Matthews, but Parker picks up the ball. Now she's coming in toward the net. Moves sideways, save. Rebound gets to a Portsmouth player. Dangerous play there for Bedford because Vinci Guerra picked up the rebound in tight, but luckily a Bedford player was able to get her to move to the outside of the field. Now a turnover on a pass intended for Morgan Runke goes out of bounds, and Bedford will get the ball back. So close call there for Bedford. But they've got the ball in their own end. Matthews trying to get out. Finds an outlet there with Abdel-Sayed. She flips it to Grogan, who gets it to O'Brien. O'Brien is in the offensive zone now. Reagan O'Brien to Enners. Now Purnell. Back to O'Brien. 22:49 to go here. Bedford up 9-5. Trying to add to that lead.
Coach Hodgson's making a play call from the sideline. Matthews took a moment to take a look over and make sure she got the instructions properly.
There's Kylie. Now behind the net, O'Brien. Three Bedford players behind the net. Now coming inside tight, it's number 2, Olivia Matthews, coming around from behind goal line extended, and she scores. At 22:56, it's now 10-5 Bedford.
There was definitely a set play. Bedford had 3 players behind the net, and they had everybody else up high, almost in a line, ready for screens and cuts. And the 3 players down low were the ones that really made that play happen.
So Bedford with the 5-goal lead here, 22:26 to go in the game, in regulation anyway. Our goal scorer Matthews on the draw, and Emily Kumpf for Portsmouth. So Parker no longer taking the draw. Ball didn't go very high, but they let play continue. It's picked up by Bedford. Enners gets it out to Purnell. She brings it into the Portsmouth zone.
Unofficially, that was Matthews' 4th goal of the game. She's been an offensive powerhouse the whole season.
Matthews with the ball now, one-on-one with the defender with Kumpf. Tries to evade her, loses the ball in the process. And what's the call here?
It looks like Bedford possession.
They're going to give her a free start, but this time from the 12-meter circle. So instead, they'll just pass it out. Enners tries to penetrate, gets it back to Matthews. She's one-on-one with Kumpf. Now she peels back outside the 12-meter circle. Leaves it for O'Brien, goes behind goal line extended. O'Brien all alone behind X. Now she's joined by Matthews, tries to come the same play here, comes back around. They're going to call a foul here, looks like on number 9. They're going to give a free start to Campbell here from the 8-meter circle, but she's going to come in pretty tight, about 30 degrees. But she's got some room here. She cuts to the top, decides not to shoot. Finds O'Brien. O'Brien takes a blow to the head. That's going to be a foul. And it looks like a Portsmouth player is going to go. Yeah, she's going to go to the sin bin. Number 24, Sadie Alati, drew a 2-minute penalty there. So the Clippers, a player down here at 20:55, and also giving O'Brien a free start from the 8-meter circle from almost directly in front of the goal. O'Brien gets the signal. Oh, she started too early, so they're going to say She jumped the gun.
Yep.
Turnover, Bedford.
That's exactly what happened.
On your back, Taylor. You got Avery.
You know, I can imagine you're trying to anticipate the start because you've got two defenders on either side who are going to close in on you as soon as the whistle goes. So you're almost like a defensive rusher on a football team.
I was just going to say it's like a lineman in a football
trying to
line of
anticipate
scrimmage.
the snap. So the ball in the Bedford end now. Portsmouth in control. They trail 10-5, 20-20 to go here in regulation. Parker, watched by Grogan, pulls back. Grogan coming out to play defense here. Now she's just pacing Parker as Parker moves in. Now a double team against Parker and Matthews. She decides to push it out to Sally Collins.
Even though they're down a player right now due to the penalty, Portsmouth is not looking to kill clock. They're looking to aggressively try to get the ball in the goal.
They've got a 5-goal deficit they have to make up here, but even if they do burn off 2 minutes here, that's fine as well.
That's true.
They've got 49 seconds left. Here's Parker along goal line, trying to come toward the net. Complains to the official about something, but to no avail. Oh, now Parker gets knocked down. Still no call. Now what's the call? Now the official says something. Parker getting abused there by Olivia Matthews.
That's the third or fourth time there's been frustration on the part of the Portsmouth players due to the calls.
So Portsmouth will get a free start from behind the net. They're going to kick it out to Marston. Grogan on Marston, trying to evade her, can't do it though. Marston's Grogan just not giving Marston any room to operate here. Marston still with it. Now to Morgan Runke. Banner's all over her as well. Vincie Guerra with the ball behind the net. Then they get it out to Avery Runke, number 13.
Portsmouth is at full strength again.
So they did kill the penalty.
Yeah.
Portsmouth very patient here. Vincie Guerra. Marston behind X. Tries to come out. Blocked by Grogan. Pass up to Collins. Collins was up one-on-one against Abdel Sayed. Couldn't get a shot away. Now they kick it out to Morgan Runke. Morgan Runke watched by O'Brien. Avery Runke.
Bedford's defense is not giving them an inch.
No. There's a shot. A shot from the 8-meter circle beats Widener, and that makes it a 10-6 contest. So, was that Avery Runke number 13 with the goal. One of the few goals not scored on a penalty tonight, with exactly at the 18-minute mark remaining in regulation. Portsmouth makes it a 10-6 contest.
Again, 5 of the 6 goals have come from the Runke sisters. Obviously, they're the ones that Bedford's got a key on. Two very talented teams going at it here in the state final. Sometimes a team makes it that doesn't quite have what it takes to compete in that final game. That's not the case this evening. Both of these teams are very strong, very, very worthy of being here.
Foul on the face-off. Possession goes to Portsmouth. I was going to say it's kind of like the Stanley Cup playoffs with Vegas and Florida.
Very true.
A couple of blowouts in games 1 and 2. So Portsmouth now, Marston behind the net to Vincie Guerra. She tries to come out up front, but blocked. Collins finds Marston right in front, and she is going to get a foul here.
It's too bad because she really was having a hard time handling the pass, and Bedford kind of bailed her out with that penalty.
So Marston here, dead straight on the net from the 8-meter circle. Whistle blown, shot, and saved by Widener. She saw it coming in all the way.
That was right at head height, and she had the stick there. It was almost like she knew exactly where it was going to go right from the start.
ball's on the ground, pops up, they're going to blow the whistle. They're going to say infraction on Portsmouth, so Bedford will maintain possession. Tipping. She kicks it out. Trying to get the number there, number 20. That's Vivian Robinson carrying the ball into the Portsmouth end. And she draws an infraction and will restart here. Robinson to Purnell. Purnell along the far sideline. Watched closely by Maggie Parker. Here's Enners to Matthews. O'Brien. Bedford in that perimeter offense. Portsmouth staying in their same formation, basically lining up along the 8-meter circle and converging on whichever Bedford ball carrier tries to penetrate. Here's Rob.
Off the post, shot by O'Brien.
That was O'Brien. Yeah, she penetrated that defense momentarily, but Bedford gets the rebound. A good hustle there by Matthews. She gets the ball back and pitches it over to Grogan on the far side of the field. Grogan, one-on-one. Flips it over to O'Brien. Now she heads for the net. Takes a shot.
With a nice shot. Lower left side of the net. UCA had their stick over on her left side, and the shot was totally to the opposite side. Read very nicely. It's a beautiful shot.
And from our view here in the press box, you could just see that opening and the ball just threaded the needle.
Exactly.
So great shot there by Reagan O'Brien, and that gives Bedford the 5-goal lead. Once again, it's 11-6. And the teams meet at the Big E for another draw.
Every time you say the Big E, I think of the exposition out in Springfield.
Yeah, but it is a Big E. Big E for Exeter. Meticulously teeing up the draw. It doesn't go very high, but it's picked up by Portsmouth. Avery Runke has it. Portsmouth with possession here to try to answer that Bedford goal. 15:09 to go in regulation. Parker to Collins. To Morgan Runke. Vinci Guerra.
Just crossed over the 15-minute mark, and you've got to think that Portsmouth is probably going to start playing with a little bit more of a sense of immediacy here. Urgency, I should say.
Morgan Runke up top. One-on-one. Now draws a double team. Flip pass to Parker. Parker loses her footing. Flips it over to Avery Runke. Good defense so far here by Bedford. Matthews just not giving them any room. Vinci Guerra behind X. Flips over to Marston. Marston up to Parker.
Talk, Regan.
Avery Runke to Sister Morgan. And Collins. Now Portsmouth, they're just looking for an opening here, but they're letting a lot of precious time off the clock. They've got a 5-goal deficit they've got to make up here. Marston behind X. Tries to come inside. The wraparound saved by Widener, but it's covered there by Vinci Guerra. She cuts around, takes a shot, and scores. Vinci Guerra makes it 11-7.
Can't give him a second chance, and that's what happened that time. Rather than recovering the ball after the shot, Vinci Guerra was able to get it and took it right to the net for the score.
13:45 left here in regulation. 4-goal lead for the Bulldogs, 11-7. But Portsmouth not giving up. Livia Matthews and Emily Kumpf meet for the draw. Girls lacrosse team for Bedford trying to win another state title for the school. Track teams and boys tennis, of course, winning state titles. They want to join them in the spring season. And short hop there, picked up by Matthews. Bedford's got possession here. O'Brien to Matthews to Grogan. After the face-off, they take a little time here to settle down, survey the Portsmouth defense, see where they can do some damage. Here's Grogan to Enners. Enners moves in, draws the interest of Emily Kumpf, number 22.
And a flag.
And Kumpf was a little too aggressive here. She's going to get called, so it's going to be a free start here for Enners. At about a 60-degree angle to the goal. Let's see what Enners does here. Waits for the signal. Takes off. Fires a shot and scores.
I was going to say, you said, see what she does here. You had that look. She was going straight for the net. There was no doubt about it.
Because she had to fight off a couple of stick checks by the time she let that shot go.
She did, but she was able to get right through between the two of them and was able to get her stick around, get the shot off. Again, Portsmouth cannot be content on trading, should not be content on trading goals here. They've got to get a stop or two.
Yeah, time's going to start running out here soon on them. They've got 12:46 in regulation and a 5-goal deficit. So Kumpf and Matthews on the draw once again. Now we get a missile.
Penalty on O'Brien, I believe, trying to jockey for position on the draw. And it looks like the ball has been awarded to possession's been, I'm sorry, other way around. Portsmouth player.
Yeah, I'm not sure the officials here are having a conference. I mean, they didn't even barely get the ball teed up. And by the way, it was Parker back in the face-off circle against Matthews.
I was watching, rather than watching the face-off, I was watching the action where O'Brien was involved, and there was a lot of physicality in terms of them jockeying for position.
Okay,
and it is penalty on Portsmouth on that, and possession Bedford. First time we've seen that penalty before the draw even happened.
As soon as our hands touch the sticks, that's when it becomes you can't step on the line. It's not that the draw has to be set.
You can hear the official explaining it to the Portsmouth coach. So Bedford with the ball. Here's Matthews. Gets away from a check from...
Oh, right through about 5 defenders.
And she finds Kylie inside tight, and she draws a flag. So she's going to get a free start here, Kylie will. But super penetration there by Olivia Matthews. Really got around a couple of Portsmouth players.
More than a couple. She went right through, it looks like 4 or 5.
Here's Kylie coming in at about 45 degrees. Fires a shot, bouncer, and scores. Right at the feet of Boussier.
Shot it low. Two quick goals for Bedford to extend it to a 6-goal lead.
So the job gets tougher and tougher here for the Clippers. Bedford's really, after getting out to a 1-0 lead early, Bedford responds with 5 straight in the first, and they've maintained that difference, and they're going to call a timeout here. I believe Portsmouth will, to talk about strategy and see what they can do here.
So again, not to dwell on it too much, but again, you've got a seasoned veteran who's been in this type of game many, many times on the Bedford side with Widener. And Boussier, I think, again, being a freshman, having coached freshmen over the years, sometimes when the lights get a little bit too bright, some rise, some don't. And I'm beginning to wonder if every time Bedford's got that ball in the offensive zone that she's thinking, don't let them score, don't let them score. But just like with basketball, you shoot to score, not to not miss. And what's happening right now is Bedford shooting to score, and she's having a hard time stopping those shots.
Especially down low. She's been beaten a few times there. Hey, just a reminder, the Bedford Bulldogs Athletic Booster Club, always looking for new members and volunteers to help support Bedford High School athletics. The Booster Club is going to meet tomorrow. It's the first Wednesday of the month, 7 p.m. at the BHS Media Center. Why don't you come on out and find out how you can help or request more information. You can also visit the website to learn more about the boosters at bbabc.net. That's bbabc.net for the Bedford Bulldogs Athletic Booster Club. Bedford crowd fired up. You can hear them. Great turnout here in Exeter. Fans of both teams at this more or less centrally located venue. Ball Stadium, often the host of Division I semifinals and finals in soccer and lacrosse. Finally the draw here off the timeout. 12:10 remaining in regulation. Bedford leads 13-7. Ball's in the air. Chase down. Looks like Portsmouth comes up with it. Collins able to take it away from Enners. Enners had it there momentarily, then she got double teamed. So here's Portsmouth. They need that ball and they need to take some shots here. Here's Marston cutting in from behind the net and scores.
That was a quick goal and one that they needed in order to try to stay in this game.
So Charlotte Marston gets the goal here at 11:47 remaining in regulation. It's now a 13-8 contest.
Hey! Black D! Sabrina! Black D! Black!
You can hear the Bedford coach, Charlotte Hodgson, Christine Hodgson, I should say, calling out to Sabrina Tipping some instructions on defense. Draw is high in the air this time and picked up by Matthews. Good eye.
Very pretty, very pretty.
Yeah, she really had a good eye to catch that, coming out of the draw, able to track that ball up in the air. So going to have some kind of infraction here, giving Bedford a free start. Enners with the ball. 11:30 remaining. Bedford with the 5-goal lead would be just happy to take a minute or two off the clock here. Working the perimeter, Grogan. Over to Enners, back to Grogan. More movement actually along the goal line. And Bedford players trying to get in position here.
It's an interesting offensive set. Bedford has 3 players all kind of clustered together to the left of the goal.
There was a pass inside to Enners. She decided to pull out of it, got it over to O'Brien. Now Bedford resetting. Matthews outside the 12-meter arc. Inside to O'Brien, tried to deke her way out. She couldn't do it again. Bedford pulls out. If the shot's not there, they can always just take more time off the clock. Enners fires a shot, and what's the call here? They're going to call offensive. She knocked down a Portsmouth player.
Approaching the 10-minute mark at this point, and Bedford still holding a strong 5-goal lead.
Portsmouth with the ball, though. Bedford not able to do anything with that last possession other than take about a minute off the clock. Maggie Parker goes down the far sideline for Portsmouth. Now Bedford sets up their defense. Annie Parker for Portsmouth. To Avery Runke. Parker tries to split down the middle, and she goes right in. They're going to call what? Are they going to call this on Bedford? Because it looked like it could have been an offensive.
I think it looks like Sydney Grogan on the foul there. Although she seemed to bear the brunt of the action.
Just like in basketball, charge or foul.
Yep.
Kira, 21! Kira!
So straight ahead on Widener. There's a shot and a goal low by Annie Parker.
Yep.
And that draws Portsmouth within 4. 9:01 remaining. It's now 13-9. So Parker very aggressively tried to challenge the Bedford defense. Ran into a player. They decided it was a defensive block. They give her a free shot from the 8-meter circle, dead in front of the net, and Parker's able to make it pay. 13-9 here with 9:01 remaining in regulation.
A little bit of a discussion between amongst the Bedford defenders at this point. I think Sydney Grogan was given a little bit of a pep talk. That's exactly what she's doing. A role she knows well.
Very important draw here. We'll see who comes up with it. Portsmouth does. Avery Runke picks it up on the fly, and they enter the Bedford offensive end. Bulldogs need to stop here. Keep Portsmouth from getting too close. They still got the 4-goal lead, 13-9. Marston behind goal line extended to Collins, back up on top. Morgan Runke to Annie Parker. She leaves it for Collins.
Fortunately, being very patient.
Challenging the Bedford defender, number 10. We're going to say, oh, Bedford got the ball in possession. She was trying to challenge Libby Norris, took a shot, it was wide, but Bedford was closer to the shot as it left the back of the net, so they get that stop. Now let's see if they can get a goal of their own. Here comes Grogan into the Portsmouth end. Running down the far sideline, under 8 minutes to play. Enters. And that horn blew. What
timeout Bedford.
Timeout Bedford. Okay.
Timeout Bedford. Yep.
I hadn't heard that all game.
Nope. Well, when Portsmouth called the timeout, we did not get a horn.
No, we didn't. But it might have been a timeout. It might have been a stoppage in play.
During a stoppage in play, you're exactly right.
So they blow that horn while play is going on. So Bedford decides to take a timeout here with 7:50 to go and the game at 13-9. Bulldogs ahead by 4.
A good decision on the part of Coach Hodgson. So you want to make sure with a 4-goal lead that you're not all of a sudden getting caught up in the excitement of what's going on and maybe find yourself out of position or playing too aggressively on one end or the other.
Or they're trying to come up with a play here to come up with a goal and push that lead back up to 5.
Very true. Very, very true.
Find out the latest happenings in your own backyard with the Bedford Buzz. It's brand new on BCTV. Up-to-date news, interviews, and insightful features, ensuring you'll always be in the know whether you're a longtime resident or newcomer to Bedford. The Bedford Buzz is your essential source for all things local. The Bedford Buzz can be viewed on BCTV Channel 16, also in HD on Channel 1072. You can also watch on the BCTV app or the BCTV YouTube channel. Tune in today and catch the latest episode. Immerse yourself in the Bedford experience like never before.
As a community, it seems like at times we take what's available to us for granted. BCTV and WBNH are real jewels for this town, and a lot of towns don't have what we do. We're very, very lucky, and I hope that the town continues to support the programming both on air and on TV.
Well, you know, BCTV does run on volunteers, and we appreciate all our volunteer announcers like yourself. And
Wait,
Lauren Fox.
I'm not getting paid for this?
Well, you are getting snacks. we did give you snacks.
I got snacks and a bottle of water.
Lauren Fox, Corey Munstertiger, Jay Abendroth, just to name a few of the citizen volunteers that we have on our staff. If you're interested in getting involved, give Bill Jennings a call at BCTV. We could sure use the help. Get involved in your community by creating compelling media just like these championship contests here with our high school.
And as a coach in the high school, I can tell you there's nothing more thrilling than to look up and see BCTV and BNH personnel walk in to know that they're broadcasting the game.
So here's Bedford working the perimeter, taking time off, 7:20. Grogan to Matthews. Now O'Brien. They're trying to stretch out that Portsmouth defense. In fact, you can see the Portsmouth defense now starting to come out. I think that might have been what they wanted to do. They wanted to draw them out and open some space in between.
Right now, Portsmouth's a little content to stay in tight.
Well, they dropped back. They were coming out a little bit. Now they drop back. Okay, here's O'Brien. She's in tight. She finds Matthews open, takes a deke, can't get a shot away. She has to pull back, and they're going to give her a free start anyway.
Yeah.
Took a hit on her arm with the stick. So here's an opportunity for Matthews to add to her goal total today. Coming in almost directly in front of the keeper. Boussier's shot. She bounced it a little too far in front. The save is made. Bedford gets the rebound, though. Purnell to Matthews in tight. She's getting abused.
And
did she get the call?
Yeah, she did. The
okay.
whistle was called.
She really tried to get to that net and surrounded by at least 3 Clippers on defense. So Matthews gets a shot here, this time from about 45 degrees. Let's see if we can score here. High shot scores.
Beautiful shot by Matthews.
She labeled that for the top left corner, and she nailed it.
She's having a heck of a game.
5:59 left in regulation. 14-9 Bedford.
Again, unofficially, but that, I believe, is her 5th goal on the evening, to go with a couple of assists. She's having a great game.
Bedford just about 6 minutes away from a state title with a 5-goal lead. They're going to award the draw to Bedford on a procedure call. Here comes Matthews into the zone. Flips it over to Purnell. Almost didn't get that. Could have went out of bounds there, but good recovery there by Purnell. Now Grogan settling things down. Matthews. Over to O'Brien. Here comes the Portsmouth defense. They're coming out of that shell, challenging Bedford further out now. Matthews. Now they drop back. Matthews draws a double, peels back, tries to get around one player, can't do it, waits for help. Oh, she gets around her defender.
Oh, very nice
pass
move.
inside to Matthews, fires a shot off the post. Wow. It was a give and go from O'Brien. She got it back to Matthews, and Matthews rang it off the iron. Now Grogan's going to draw a foul, but this one far away from the net here, so the free start is a good 25 yards from the goal here, so it's not really a shooting foul. 5:07 left.
Penalty.
Oh, they're going to send it. Okay, a 2-minute call here.
Yeah.
It looks like number 9, Annie Campbell,
again,
is going to sit down here. Now, Bedford's got possession with the player advantage. Good eye there, Coach.
Grogan was hitting the head. Grogan was hitting the head on that, and the one thing that they're calling are those hits to the head. That's dangerous without these athletes wearing a helmet.
So we're waiting here for the officials to start, and they do. Bedford with a 2-minute advantage in personnel, with just under the 5-minute mark here. Bedford could choose to just burn off clock here. You can hear the Portsmouth coach trying to bark instructions to their defense. Grogan. Grogan again. Again, Bedford just taking their time here. They've got the player number advantage for another minute and 23. There's only 4:28 left in regulation game clock. Matthews sends it all the way down now to Kylie in the corner. She gets it back. Bedford really not making any attempt to go to the net here. Grogan gets it back. Now pass to Kylie. Gives it back to Grogan. You know, the Portsmouth defense is like spread out all over the field. They're leaving it wide open close into the net here because Bedford is just not making a move. Now Matthews decides to go. Here she goes cutting in, lose the ball momentarily. I don't know if they call that a shot. No, they're going to say she lost the ball out of bounds.
Yep, so it goes, possession goes to Portsmouth, but the clock is definitely against them at this point with 3:30 to go and a 5-goal deficit.
So Bedford was burning off their own penalty there, or Portsmouth penalty. Matthews decided to try to get in the score, lost the ball, even though it was backed up by Bedford. The officials said that was not a shot, so they gave possession to the Clippers. Now Maggie Parker finally beats a triple team to get into the Bedford end. Here's Lily Patterson now in the game for the Clippers. Ball goes up to Avery Runke. Hits a double team. Gets it to Parker. Parker can't find a lane. Now takes a shot and scores.
Parker with a nice low shot.
Coming at, you know what? Oh, they're gonna wave the goal off because she said she was fouled. So once again they take it. You can hear the catcalls from the crowd. That's the second goal they took away from Portsmouth, and instead they give her a penalty on a free shot. But she gets the ball back, the goal back anyway. Yep, she scores. Annie Parker, number 10, gets a goal, cuts the lead down to 4. But there's just 2:23 left in regulation. So here we are. We've got a pretty important face-off here for the Bulldogs. They've got to, if they come up with possession here, they may be able to just run the clock out, or at least, you know, dare Portsmouth to foul them. Let's see how it goes. They're at the center E.
The Big E.
The Big E. Draw is teed up. In the air.
Portsmouth possession.
Yep, Runke tracks that one down. They get the ball now. Down by 4. They got to get some shots here. Runke behind the net. Now pass up front. Intercepted. What are they going to call here? A penalty? Yes.
Penalty on Bedford.
So another free shot here. This one going to number 11, Lily Patterson. I haven't called her name a lot tonight. Let's see what she does here. Takes a shot, and it goes off the leg of Widener, out of bounds, but they're going to say backed up by Portsmouth, so they maintain possession. 1:44 left. They get the ball up now to Morgan Runke. Clock is ticking, coming up on 90 seconds remaining. Morgan Runke trying to penetrate, takes a high shot.
Another high shot.
Misses the net, but it's backed up by Portsmouth, so they maintain possession. 1:26 to go. Here's Sally Collins. Leaves it for Runke. Peels away, gets it to sister Morgan Runke. Gets around a defender, takes a shot, and it's stopped. It goes off of Widener.
Another nice stop by Widener.
Backed up again by Portsmouth. They take a shot. Oh, they missed it from point blank. That was number 4, Vinciguerra. She picked up the ball after backing it up, took the shot, missed it, but they're going to give her a free start. But there's only 59.9 seconds remaining. So number 4, Vinciguerra, is going to come in at about a 45-degree angle here. Portsmouth trailing by 4. It's 14-10. The officials holding her off here, waiting till everybody's in place. Vinciguerra gets the signal, comes in, takes a shot, and what is it?
She scored.
She did score.
She scored.
Wasn't sure. The official didn't signal. So it's a goal. Vinciguerra.
Oh, wait.
No, it's no goal.
It's not.
They waved it off. They said she moved too early, but Portsmouth gets the ball back. Coming in tight. Oh, a trip. Maggie Parker came in. She was tripped. She's going to get a free shot. Yeah, that was a little confusing play. The ball went in.
The ball was in the net, but the clock was still going.
But the officials waved the goal off because Vince Guerra jumped the gun here. But now with 39.1 seconds, we get a free start here for Maggie Parker. Coming in at about a 45-degree angle. She goes, and she had her stick checked by Matthews just as she let the shot away. Calls the shot to go wide. And Bedford backs the ball up. They have possession. 27 seconds left.
4-goal lead. I would say this one is in the books.
All they got to do is maintain possession. Up to the stick check, turnover. They're going to call a foul there on Vince Guerra. So Bedford gets the ball back. 13 seconds. Clock is running here. 10 seconds. They lose the ball again. They're going to call a foul. Doesn't matter. Clock is running. 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. Bedford is your girls lacrosse champion.
Bedford wins it.
The Bulldogs are champs once again. Sorry about that. Stepped on you, Coach. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it was a great team effort, and the key was they shared the ball, they passed the ball well. A lot of people got on the board for them in the goal column, and when you've got a team with a lot of offensive weapons, it's hard to shut them all down.
And I think this game came down to that 5-goal burst in the first period.
Well,
that set the lead that never really varied. They got it down to 3 a few times, but Bedford able to respond, got it up as high as 6 at one point in the second half. Portsmouth closed it to 4, but they never got any closer.
Exactly. And these ladies have had a great season with just one blemish on their record, an out-of-state game against Lincoln Sudbury and a 10-9 score. Otherwise, in New Hampshire, they've been perfect, and a perfect season should end with a championship, and that's just what's happened.
Congratulations to the Bulldogs and also to the Clippers, your number 2 seed for a terrific season as well.
An interesting little factoid here. When Bedford and Portsmouth played in the regular season, the score was 14-10 Bedford.
Yep.
The score today, 14-10 Bedford.
So, Coach, quick recap on the goal scoring. Instead of doing all the goals, just let's see who are our top goal scorers this game.
Well, it's getting a little dark in here.
You can turn the light on.
Oh, there we go.
If you can reach that switch. They do turn the lights off here in the press box. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Let there be. Well, in the second half, Matthews added a couple goals to her 3 in the first half to finish with 5. In terms of goals, O'Brien with 3 goals, Reagan O'Brien. Everything else was pretty much spread out for Bedford. The story for the Portsmouth squad were the Runkey sisters. They scored, I believe, 6 of their 10 goals. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, they had 5 of their goals. But still, I think that the scoring spread for Bedford, even though Matthews led with 5, quite a few people got into the scoring column, and the ladies are celebrating on the field right now, and justifiably so. It was a great season for them, and what a great way for the seniors to go out.
Coach, thank you for joining me on this broadcast. And the final score, Bedford comes away with the Division I championship in girls lacrosse. 14-10 is your final over Portsmouth. You've been watching and listening to Bedford Lacrosse on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. See you later, everybody.